You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was Dire Straits. Skate Away was the name of that track. And we have Dyana Winkler.
Hello.
Co-director. Is there another director then?
There was two of us, and we shot the entire thing, did all the sound, all the directing, all the producing. You name the role, the two of us did it together.
And Phelicia Wright.
Hello.
Are you the star in it?
No, I'm one of the
Skaters.
co-subjects, along with the Buddy Love and Reggie
Brown.
And
Had a moment.
it's a documentary about skating, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called United Skates. Premieres Monday, February 18th on HBO. And like I said, I tried to watch it, and I couldn't get in.
Sorry.
I couldn't get in. Do you want to fill us in a little bit what it's about? It's about skating.
Yes. It's about
Roller skates.
the importance of skating to the black community in this country.
Yeah.
And we kind of use this very celebratory world that you'll see that's full of music and dance to as the sugar to spoon feed some of the deeper issues below the surface around the fact that all these roller rinks are still fully segregated. There's still white nights and black nights. On the black nights, they're treated completely differently. They're policed. There's metal detectors at the door. We've had incidences where they were kicked out and not allowed in at all that we've filmed with spy cameras. So we kind of use, like I said, the roller skating aspect of it as a metaphor to look at the deeper issues of race in our country.
Yeah. Where's the one in LA? What's your local one that you go to?
The local one in LA is called World on Wheels. It's in Los Angeles, right off of Venice and San Vicente. It's been there since 1981. It was reopened last June 2018. And we're just trying to keep this thing going.
I think a buddy of mine goes. I follow this guy on Instagram, and he's always. It looks like the documentary.
Oh, good.
It's probably one of the skaters in the documentary. More than likely, I probably know them.
No, he's a white dude. He's a buddy of mine.
Yeah, we have white people to this.
You do?
Yeah.
So why do they have black nights and white nights? Why doesn't it mix?
So back at the time that our country was just starting to integrate,
Yeah, when the 60s.
Mm-hmm, the laws were changing, but the people weren't necessarily ready for those laws to change.
Yeah.
And so a lot of white flight was happening in the country. Public swimming pools, people stopped going. There was a lot of quote-unquote fake news that was happening even back then, where there were articles saying that if you swam with African Americans, you'd get diseases or things like that, just completely untrue. And the same was happening with dance and roller skating. And so roller rinks basically just realized if they integrate, they're going to close as well, because all of these other public spaces were starting to close. They were losing too much business. So they, at that point, weren't allowed to call them white nights and black nights anymore, but they started coming up with code words, things like adult night and top 40 night for the white nights, and then soul night or R&B night for the black nights, and that's kind of just stayed.
Yeah. I mean, do they make money in general, roller rinks?
They did. They made a whole lot more
70s
in the
was
disco era.
the big time, right? 70s.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you remember Flippers?
Yes, my mother worked there.
That used to be up at Holloway
Hollywood, yes.
and Santa Monica Boulevard. I even went in there in the 70s.
Yeah.
Felicia's story really represents what skating means, because in so many ways, because her mother and father both came out of the roller rink, they raised her in the roller rink, and she raised all her 5 kids in the roller rink.
Yeah.
So it's definitely generational.
Yeah. So can you get good at it? I mean, I was terrible. Do you have to practice? Do you like practice?
As you should, but to me, it's more than practicing to become a great skater. It's just really releasing your soul on the floor. Mm-hmm. It's really just feeling the music. However your body leads you, that's where you should follow. It's not always about trying to do the move like them, but whatever your body tells you to do to make you and have you enjoy the time on those 8 wheels. It's really a personal time. Do you do movements and learn routines? Absolutely. But then there's a time for you to do what you do, whatever that is.
Solo.
Absolutely.
And do you what's the longest you've skated for in one sitting? A couple of hours before it's stopping?
It's been hours.
Just non-stop?
It's been hours, and that's where I prefer to be. To me, in my position, I choose to feel that people who just come to the rink to talk aren't really always the skaters. I mean, most of the time I'm on the floor all night unless there's a special men's only or women's only or backwards only or whatever else only at the time, because that's why you're there, to roller skate. Now, the social aspect of it is amazing because I mean, there are people I meet say, hey, if you go, I'll go. Because everyone needs that social economic of it. And it's a beautiful thing. We're like a family there. And so, go ahead.
Sorry, we interviewed someone who said, he said, you name me one other place where you get something out of it when you're a kid. You get something different out of it when you're a teenager. You get something else out of it in the middle of your life, and then you get something out of it until the day you die. And that really is what you see on these nights. You see the older skaters who maybe listen to the music, play dominoes, watch the younger kids. It's really a space, and then you see the Felicias that never leave the floor.
Or there was a gentleman, I remember the night clearly. He sounds a little spooky, but he passed away on the floor. Over time, one of his legs, he lost one of his legs, and he had a wooden leg. And when he died doing what he loved to do, which was roller skating.
Wow.
That's the way to go. I'm just saying. And
He had his leg with his wooden leg.
He learned how to skate with his wooden leg.
Wow.
And you wouldn't, unless you knew him, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know, yeah.
So, I mean, just the magic that's created on those 8 wheels is something that's phenomenal. That's why to lose these rinks would be just a terrible thing.
Yeah. So what's the goal then from the documentary? To keep it going? Is that the ultimate goal? So these places don't close down?
I mean, the goal, so when we first got started making the film, we realized that there was something really special here. And we kind of said to ourselves, well, how is it that the world hasn't seen this before? How is this so vibrant and beautiful? And we, unless you're from this community, you didn't even know that it existed. And we talked to them a lot about, do you want us to make this film? Because if we do, it might change some things. Once something goes mainstream, it loses some of the intimacy and the love. And right now when you walk into a night at these rinks, people don't even use the lockers. They just leave their stuff on the floor because no one's going to steal it, because you know each other and you're all part of the same family. And but the skaters really made it clear that it's at a place where we're losing 3 rinks a month. Many of the rinks that we
in America.
Many of the rinks we filmed in during the course of the film are gone now, including one in LA that we filmed the closing night of. And besides the fact that they assumed there would be violence there and they surrounded it with cop cars, nothing happened. It was just roller skating. And it's now a Saks Fifth Avenue. And so, yes, there was a very important part of it, which was to capture something before it's gone. But also, our hope is that now, because we're so grateful to have it on a platform like HBO, where literally it will be in millions of people's homes, that they can perhaps see it, fall in love with it the same way that we did, and maybe there will be a resurgence of skating to save these rinks.
Do you skate?
Not at all.
You don't
She's
skate?
She's not that bad. See,
she's nice.
She's not that bad. Some people can't even stand up. She can stand up and get around and bop a little bit. You can do that. You can learn anything. So that's not true.
Is it
Thanks,
Is it similar to ice skating?
No. It's a
Completely
totally different world.
Because I'm from Hawaii, and we didn't have any roller rinks at all growing up.
Yeah.
We were outside and outdoors, so there was rollerblading, which is a taboo in this world because it's not nearly as cool as the 4 wheels.
They're the wheels in a straight line.
Yes,
Right.
and that I find much more similar to ice skating.
Ice skate,
but
yeah.
I can't rollerblade or ice skate. Worth nothing.
Yeah.
So I can hardly stand up without holding on to the wall. So, yeah. I'm a quad 8 wheels type of chick.
Do they have like more high-end custom wheels and shoes? Like,
You
does
have
it make a
no idea.
big difference?
Oh,
So you have to watch the film. So then you'll see all those, like any shoes you have. You know the old Stacey Adams shoes that someone would wear to church or to work? Well, we skate in those or whatever
You
type
can
shoe.
convert
tennis shoe.
anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's what the LA style is considered more of, what style of skate you have.
It depends on where in the country you are. Is really the answer, because because these nights were separated for so long. A fully different culture, a different music, a different skate style, a different type of wheel, a different type of skate has been birthed out of all of these different regions around the country. So if you go to Chicago, they're going to have a higher boot. They're going to have the tongue of the boot open. A lot of times it has fur lining on it, and they're doing completely different moves, like jumping in the air, slamming in the splits. They call them nutcrackers. And
Damn.
versus if you go to Detroit, and they're burning the sides of their wheels. So if you walk into the rink, it smells like burnt rubber because of the types of moves they're doing in there. And you just keep traveling, and it's going to be different. In Philadelphia, they all skate backwards so fast that if you're on the side, your hair just goes whips by. And in LA, they're tricking out their skates. So here is where people want to look good from head to toe, and so they're bringing.
Hollywood, of
There you go.
course.
So you don't see that anywhere else, but you are seeing that here.
Yeah. Let's play some music. Let's play the Cars. Let the good times roll. We're here with Dyana Winkler, co-director, and Phelicia Wright, one of the subjects in the film. The film's called United Skates. It premieres Monday, February the 18th on HBO. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was David Bowie. John, I'm Only Dancing in Brackets Again. Then we had the Cars, Let the Good Times Roll. And we're here with Dyana Winkler. You're not related to Henry Winkler, are you?
Sadly, no.
That was my boyfriend when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Who didn't love the
The
fun?
fun.
Hey.
I met him a couple of years ago.
Tell him he has a black girlfriend he doesn't know about.
Does he?
Yeah, right here.
And a Hawaiian niece.
He's the sweetest guy, man.
Oh, wow.
He's such a sweet guy. His hair's all grey, but he still looks the same. But we used to get that in England, Abbey days. Everyone wanted to be the Funns. He got all the chicks.
Yeah, your hat is kind of like one of his first hats. It kind of reminds me of the early episodes.
Yeah. I'm not trying to look like the Funns. Phelicia Wright, one of
Yes.
the subjects of the film, United Skates. I get it. There's a twist to it, like United States.
Got it.
Okay. Premieres Monday, February the 18th on HBO. And you got a screening tonight or something, right?
Yeah, we actually will be screening a free screening at the Hammer Museum this evening at 7 o'clock.
On Fairfax
Yes.
and Wilshire.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. So if you would like to see the film in a theater before it's on HBO, come out tonight, and I will be there along with Phelicia for a Q&A after the film.
Yeah. So it's the 13th now, 18th. How many days is that?
5 days.
In 5 days it'll be on HBO.
Yes.
We're in countdown mode.
Nice one. How long is it? Usual length, 90 minutes?
Yes, it's 89 minutes.
89 minutes. We're going to visit the Duke. When we come back, we'll have some more chit-chat.
On the next Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
You've been listening to Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. That was Wings, Helen Wheels, and before that was Silverhead, Rolling with My Baby. And my guests are Dyana Winkler, co-director, and Phelicia Wright, one of the subjects of the film United Skates. It's a documentary, premieres Monday, February 18th on HBO.
Hello.
You got anything you want to throw out there? Plug.
In what sense?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. This was a labor of love.
How long did it take to make?
I was just going to say, it took us 5 years to make this
5
film.
years.
We had 500 hours of footage
Oh,
that
man.
we whittled down to the 90 minutes that it is. And everyone told us we were trying to do too much. They said, you're trying to put a TV series into 90 minutes, and you got to cut this and you got to cut that, and we kept trying to cut it, and it never had the heart that it needed to have. And so ultimately we did find a way to cram a lot into those 90 minutes. So people say that they've enjoyed it so much they've gone back and watched it 2 and sometimes 3 times and still gotten new things out of it, because there is so much in there.
It can't be that. I mean, making a roller rink, other than the land, I mean, it's not much to it, right? I mean, it's just, you know what I mean?
A big open space.
Yeah.
But land is worth so much now that, you know, if you can sell a lot more useless items in there and get sales tax on it, then businesses are more interested in that than, you know, keeping things open for the community, sadly. It's one of the things we discuss in the film is that, you know, these rinks are dropping like flies, and people have less and less places to go to be together in real time, you know, not being on their devices. And each rink that we've watched close has become a Walmart, a Home Depot, you know, the same 10 big box stores. And very soon our whole country is going to look like the same 10
Even
stores.
with CVS, if there's a CVS on the lot, there can be no kind of entertainment in that particular area. I mean,
Zone.
It's the rezoning is, you know, a big part of the mask of what it's really about.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate because they know people don't really have that kind of money to go against those big corporations.
Yeah.
So it's just it's really sad what's happening.
Yeah. Do you ever roller skate on the beach?
Those are the vintage beach skaters. As much as I love roller skating, I do not skate outside. But a lot of people do, and shout out to Laura and all the other vintage beach skaters, Nelson, all of them. They're phenomenal. That's just not what I do, but they're dope too.
Depends on the type of wheels that you have, which is why Phelicia has these very beautiful cut-down wheels that are made out of fiberglass. For wood. And they would get ruined on the beach.
Concrete, yeah.
So there are some diehard skaters that swap out their wheels,
And I'm lazy,
depending
I'm not
on where
doing
they
all
go.
How many pair of skates do you have, Phelicia?
Only have 2.
That's it?
And I'm not the type to. Some people have to have like 50 million pairs of skates. That's not me. Yeah. For me, it's not necessary. But for some people, they change the skate according to their outfit. So, I mean, there's some people I know with 10, 12 pair of skates. But for me, I don't do it, but some do.
And also, we've seen superstitious skaters that never change skates, and they're so old that they have holes in them, and they'll duct tape them. You know, we actually got a shot of that we didn't end up using in the film where you could see this guy's toes. He didn't even have socks on, but he would not get rid of those skates.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Do you what's the most muscle that gets worked out? Your calves?
The whole body. It's a total body workout. So it's like every part of your body is moving, and that's the beauty of it. If you want to say, well, what's great about it? If you want to do the fitness thing, it's cardio. You will work your heart out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you will sweat. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it's a total body workout, and it's a great one too.
I remember when I did it 1,000 years ago. Then the next day, I couldn't even bleed and walk.
Exactly.
My calves and my ankles were killing me.
Oh, the next after a good session, life is great.
You know, and I
feel good.
I see these skaters, and they will be out there for hours, so they make it not look that hard. But then when a novice goes out like me, I do 3 laps, and I'm out of breath.
Well, at the big national skating parties that Mark saw the movie, thank you, we have at the national parties, we don't start skating until about midnight.
Yeah.
And we don't end till 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, sometimes 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we're getting right back up about noon for our next event.
Yeah.
It's just the life of a skater. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dyana Winkler, co-director, and Phelicia Wright, one of the subjects of the film United Skates.
Maybe we'll see you there tonight at
Where?
the Hammer Museum.
I ain't going nowhere. Let me tell you that right now. We're going to knock it on the head. We're going to play Motley Crue, Looks That Kill, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.